Hello, awesome artists. Let's use these lines to create an amazing Lunar New Year rabbit. Let's get ready to create. Start with your paper in portrait orientation. If it's longer from left to right, that's landscape. Turn it portrait. All right, get your Sharpie, and actually before we open up our Sharpie, let's find the center of our page. Is that center? Nope, that's not it. How about here? No, the center of our paper is right here. Find the center and then move down a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. And this is where you're going to draw a circular shape. Trace your circle a couple times with your finger, and then when you're ready, grab your Sharpie and draw that circle in that same spot. Don't worry if it's not a perfect circle, it'll be okay. This circular shape will be our rabbit's nose and mouth. In the center of the circle, make a small U shape, and then down from that U, a J shape, and then reverse that J in the opposite direction for the mouth. Great. Now let's draw the rabbit's head. It's going to be an oblong shape that comes off of the bottom of the rabbit's nose. You'll want to draw it with your finger before you use your marker, coming up and around and back down to the other side of the nose, leaving plenty of room for those bunny ears. Here we go from the bottom of the right, going up, and then coming back down to the bottom of the nose. Don't worry if it seems a little lopsided, it's going to look amazing once you add the texture in. Let's do the rabbit's body. Make a curved line from the bottom of the left side of the head down to the very end of the paper, and then do the exact same thing on the right side of the head. When you make the rabbit's ears, visually measure the amount of room you'll need to draw them equally spaced on the rabbit's head. Use the full height of the paper to draw your rabbit ears nice and long. Make sure you give him 2 ears. To give the rabbit's head a little bit more form, we're going to divide it into a couple of sections. Start from the bottom outside line of the ear, round in just a little bit, and then come down to the nose. Do the same on the opposite side. And last but not least, let's give our rabbit some eyes. To make the eyes, you're going to make an upside down U shape and then close them with a slightly rounded line. Make one on each side of the rabbit's face. Draw a little circle inside that shape for the reflection of the rabbit's eye, and then fill everything in except for that small circle. I don't know if you know this or not, but rabbits have surprisingly long eyelashes. So to finish my rabbit off, I'm going to give him a couple of eyelashes on the side of each eye, and I am done. Now let's pause the video so we can talk about our next step of adding at least one character trait word inside our rabbits. Now that you have your word or words picked out for your rabbit, you want to think about the placement of those words. They can be right there in the middle in the open, or you can hide them a little bit better if you choose to do so. I'm going to put the word calm on my rabbit, and I'm going to put it kind of front and center as the focus for this picture. Although when I add my texture, I'm going to kind of hide it within the texture. You can add your words anywhere you want on your rabbit. You want to make sure you use correct spelling and very clean handwriting. When you've finished adding your words, then it's time to start adding lines for the texture of the rabbit's fur. You can do this in several ways. Right now I'm showing you how to add very short and close lines in rows up throughout the rabbit's body. This is going to take some time and patience, and you might need to take a break in between your different sections. If you do take a break, it's always important to cap your marker while you're waiting so it doesn't dry out. Stay focused and take your time on this part of the project. If you rush through the texture on the rabbit's fur, it's not going to look as clean and carefully thought out as it would if you take your time. When you get to the areas where your words are, remember you're kind of hiding them within the line texture. Instead of drawing the lines right over the words, you want to skip over them as you go along. If you look carefully as I was working, I added a second word hidden within my rabbit. Remember, as an artist, you can always make changes to your original idea as you're working on your art. Here you can see a different way to create lines and texture within your rabbit. As you can see, I've added more wavy lines and dots and zigzags and loop-de-loo lines instead of just adding a simple short line texture. This gives this rabbit a little bit more interest. And again, when I go past the words, I kind of stop and then continue on after the word, hiding the word within the texture lines. And that's it. Now it's time to pause the video and get started on your line rabbits. Then when you come back, we'll talk about step 3, creating a fireworks background to complete our art. Now it's time to create our fireworks background for our Lunar New Year rabbits. First, choose a red or black piece of construction paper. I've already done the black one, so I will show you what it's going to look like on the red paper. Start by adding your name and teacher code to the back before you begin painting. At the table, you'll have several plates of metallic colors and white with some toilet paper rolls that have been cut into strips around. You'll use these as stampers to create your firework. Stamp it around the paint, and then you'll stamp up and down on your paper, rotating every time you stamp down. So stamp down and then rotate, stamp again, and continue doing that until it looks like a firework. Look at your paper and decide how many fireworks you would like to have. You can fit around 3 or maybe 4 fireworks depending on if you overlap them or not. Use different metallic colors that you want to, and then finally on top of the metallic colors you'll want to do a couple of stamps of white to bring out the light inside the fireworks. When you're done painting your fireworks, if you would like to add some red glitter, just raise your hand and I'll come by and sprinkle some red glitter on top of the paint. When the paint dries, the glitter will stick. And that's it. Once your painting is dry, you'll then cut out your Lunar New Year rabbit and glue it onto the background. I cannot wait to see what you create.